Vaa bra, ameanza kuvaa sijui nini. Na huyo mwanaume haezi mwambia makosa maana hataki kuchukiwa. Unasikia mpaka kulia katika. Wakati naona huyo mtoto anaingia katika TikTok live. Anadanganyana live. Anasema anaendelea vizuri. Ni mtoto mgani anaendelea vizuri na ameweka kucha? Hayuko shuleni. Mnaona sky ni kuharibika, anaharibika. Kila mtu anaona sky ni kwenda anaenda kuharibika.
You don't cry in front of a man. Why would you cry in front of a man? Don't cry in front of a man. You're a woman. Be strong.
Si watu wanasema nyamaza, nyamaza, nyamaza. Mtafurahia wakati mtasikia mtoto wangu amezaa. Watu watafurahia wakisikia mtoto wangu amezaa ama destiny yake imeharibika. Na niko hapa na niko na uwezo wa kuongea. Social media wameongea. Mimi sitanyamaza tena. Wanirudishie watoto wangu wote wawili. Ni ule mwanaume amewashika hajalipa school fees. Walilipiwa school fees. Na wale wanaona kama naongea uongo. Wale wanaona kama naongea uongo. Waende hiyo shule. Inaitwa Wood Creek. Wood Creek International School. Waulize kama watoto walikuwa wamefukuzwa. Watoto wamefukuzwa 3 weeks. Wamekaa kwa nyumba. Baada ya social media kupiga kelele. Baada ya msichana mmoja ako UK anaitwa Shiro Stuart. Alipoanza kupiga kelele. Maana mimi sikuwa saa kuongea. Alipoanza kupiga kelele. Hawa watoto wakalipiwa shule na serikali. Deputy President wa Kenya ndiye alilipa 400,000. Mimi sasa kulipiwa school fees, nataka watoto wangu nitajilipia school fees. Na kuna mambo ninajua. Kuna mambo najua kuhusu hiyo familia. Ni vile tu sitaki kushout, maana nilikuwa naheshimu huyo mama sana na nampenda sana. Nitakuja kusema mimi niliua Betty Bayo. I'm not a fool person. Nitakuja kusema mimi niliua Betty Bayo. Very soon nitasema mimi niliua huyo mama. I'm not fool. Kwa hivyo getao usinizoee. Wewe nirudishie watoto na mimi nyamaze. Lakini kama hutarudishia watoto, I will tell you na nitatoa evidence ya nini niliua Betty Bayo.
You won't believe what just exploded between Prophet Kanyari and Tash. And this time, it is darker than anyone expected. War has officially been declared after the tragic death of Betty Bayo on November 10th of 2025, leaving behind 13-year-old Sky and 10-year-old Danny. What was supposed to be a grieving period has now turned into a full-blown public showdown.
Mimi sichukiwe mwanaume. Mimi sichukiwe mwanaume. Huyu mwanaume kama angekuwa na akili, wakati mama alikufa, angeita familia ya Betty Bayo, aite familia yake na aite ya familia yangu. Tushirikiane basi kulea hawa. Kama anawapenda sana, basi tushirikiane. Lakini aliniblock na mimi nitadili na yeye. Aliblock familia, nitadili na yeye. Aliblock waimbaji, wale walikuwa naimba. Baka Sky.
And it gets worse. Prophet Kanyari is furious. He is accusing Tash, a man he says abandoned his own children, of playing stepdaddy while blocking him from seeing his own kids.
Vaa bra, ameanza kuvaa sijui nini. Na huyo mwanaume haezi mwambia makosa maana hataki kuchukiwa. Anamwambia kila kitu iko sawa Sky. Iko sawa Sky. Ili Sky aendelee kuharibika. Watoto wangu nitarudishiwa wakishaharibika. Ati usikiaga mtoto wa Kanyari amezaa akiwa na miaka 14. Tashindwa sasa Kanyari huyo anataka kusimama kiti ya Kasarani na mtoto wake alizaa.
But that is not even the shocking part. Kanyari claims that his 13-year-old daughter is not in school, is wearing nails, and he fears she could fall and bring shame to his name. And now, he is threatening to expose the real cause of Betty Bayo's death. If Tash doesn't hand over the children, Kanyari says he will reveal secrets that could change everything. But here is what nobody is talking about. Why does Betty Bayo's family allegedly not want him near his kids? What are they hiding? And what exactly does Kanyari know about her death that she has been keeping silent until now? Because at exactly 30 seconds into this story, a detail will surface that completely flips the narrative. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this is not just a custody battle, it's a ticking time bomb. Stay with me because what happens next is going to leave you speechless And trust me, the final revelation explains why this situation just got 10 times worse. And if you thought that this was the worst of it, new details change everything, because just when Prophet Kanyari threatened to reveal the real cause of Betty Bayo's death, something happened behind the scenes and it silenced everyone. Sources now claim that a private meeting took place, one that wasn't supposed to leak. A meeting between Kanyari, a close member of Betty Bayo's family, and someone very unexpected. But why the secrecy? And why did Tash suddenly go quiet on social media right after? That is not a coincidence, and here is where it gets even more disturbing. There are whispers that certain documents exist, documents that allegedly explain what really happened before Betty Bayo passed away on November 10th of 2025. But those documents have not been made public yet. And remember, when Kanyari said he was ready to talk, we break down what he meant by that, because according to insiders, if he speaks, reputations will collapse. But wait until you hear what Sky allegedly told someone close to the family. This single statement might expose who is really telling the truth or who is lying. And in a few minutes, you will hear the one sentence that changes the entire custody battle narrative. The question is, will Kanyari actually release what he knows, or is this all a calculated move in a bigger war over the children? This is not just an update, this is the missing piece. Let us start with the bomb that Kanyari dropped that has parents everywhere clutching their pearls. The prophet made a discovery that every father dreads. His 13-year-old daughter Sky, a child he shares with the late Betty Bayo, is not enrolled in school. Can you imagine the shock? Kanyari revealed that young Sky has been putting on artificial nails, and he expressed a genuine fear that his daughter might end up in the wrong company. Kanyari specifically stated that he is terrified that this might bring shame to his name. And these are not just words of an angry father. This is a man watching his daughter spiral while he is kept at arm's length. Think about that for a moment. A child who just lost her mother barely 6 months ago, and if you're being honest about the timeline, is now living a lifestyle that has her own father issuing public warnings. The prophet didn't mince words when he described his disappointment. He painted a picture of a young girl being allowed to grow up too fast, with no proper supervision, no structure, and no educational foundation. But wait, there is another layer of this that makes this even more disturbing. You won't believe what Kanyari revealed about Tash's own biological children. The hypocrisy is absolutely staggering. Plus, Betty Bayo's family is involved in ways you never expected. Now Tash, the man playing super dad to Sky and Danny, has his own biological children, and according to multiple sources and Kanyari's explosive claims, those children have been abandoned. Let that sink in for a moment. A man has left his own kids to play stepfather to another man's kids. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. They didn't just hint at this, he came out and explicitly stated it. He questioned how a man could abandon his own responsibilities to take care of someone else's, and honestly, it's a valid question that deserves an answer. But here is where this story takes an even darker turn. Prophet Kanyari revealed something that shows this is not just about Tash. And according to the controversial preacher, Betty Bayo's own family has joined forces with Tash to keep him away from his children, a father being blocked from his own kids by the maternal family. And Kanyari expressed deep disappointment and the heartbreak over this revelation. He claimed that Betty Bayo's family, the very people who should be facilitating a relationship between a father and his children, are instead working against him. Now, this raises so many questions. Why would Betty Bayo's family prefer Tash over children's biological father? And what happened behind closed doors that we don't know about? Is there bad blood between Kanyari and Betty Bayo's family that predates her death? Or is this about something else entirely? Kanyari's public statement suggests he feels betrayed, not just by Tash, but by the people he thought would prioritize the children's well-being. He painted a picture of a coordinated effort to exclude him from Sky and Danny's life. And whether you love Kanyari or hate him, whether you think he is a genuine prophet or a controversial figure, the man has legal rights as a father. Now, we come to the nuclear option that Kanyari has placed on the table. The prophet has made a threat that has sent shockwaves through the Kenyan social media. He stated clearly and publicly, if Tash does not hand over these children, he will reveal the real cause of Betty Bayo's death. Kanyari claims to know something about the death, something that hasn't been made public yet, and something that could apparently damage reputations and change the entire narrative, and he is willing to expose it all if his children are not returned to him. This is no longer just a custody dispute. This has become a high-stakes game of truth and consequences. What could Kanyari possibly know? Was there something suspicious about Betty Bayo's death that was covered up? Were there contributing factors that the family wanted kept private? Or did something happen in the days or weeks before her passing that would cast people in a negative light? The prophet is essentially saying, give me my kids or I will burn everything down. It's a desperate move. Some might say it's even manipulative, but it's also the move of a father who feels he has no other option left. Think about it from his perspective for a moment. His ex-wife had died. His children are being kept away from him. His daughter is apparently out of school and engaging in concerning behaviors. The maternal family has sided against him, and a man with his own children is playing daddy to his kids on social media. What will you do in that situation? Kanyari has chosen to go public, to make threats, to force the issue into the open, and he is gambling that whatever he knows about Betty's death is explosive enough to make Tash and the family reconsider their position. But here is the thing about threats like these. Once you make them, you have to be prepared to follow through. If Kanyari is bluffing, if he reveals his information and it is not as damaging as promised, he loses credibility and likely any chance of getting his children back. But if he is telling the truth, if what he knows really is that explosive, then we are about to witness one of the biggest scandals in the Kenyan entertainment history. The Kenyan public has been absolutely divided on this issue. Social media has exploded with opinions, hot takes, and conspiracy theories. Some people are firmly in Kanyari's corner. They argue that whatever his flaws, whatever his controversial past, he is still the biological father and has the rights. They point to the school situation and the concerning behaviors as evidence that Tash isn't adequately parenting. They question why a man with his own children should be trusted with someone else's kids, and they support Kanyari's right to fight for his children by any means necessary. On the side, many Kenyans are supporting Tash. They remember Kanyari's scandals, his controversial ministry, and his past issues. They argue that biology doesn't automatically make you a good parent. They praise Tash for stepping up when tragedy struck and for being there when the children needed someone. They view Kanyari's threats as manipulative and inappropriate. So, where does this leave us now? Prophet Kanyari has drawn his line in the sand. He wants his children back, or he will reveal what he claims to know about Betty Bayo's death. Tash has not publicly responded to these latest threats, at least not at the time of this recording. Betty Bayo's family remains silent on the allegations, and two children, Sky and Danny, remain caught in the middle of a war they did not ask for. The clock is ticking on Kanyari's ultimatum. Will Tash back down and hand over the children? Will the family intervene to broker peace? Or are we about to learn explosive secrets about Betty Bayo's final days? One thing is certain, this story is far from over, and whatever happens next will have major implications for everyone involved. What do you think about this situation? Is Kanyari justified in his threats, or has he crossed a line? Should Tash step back, or is he the stable presence these children need? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates as this story develops. Share this video with anyone who needs to know what is really happening in the explosive situation. And remember, behind every headline, behind every scandal, there are real people, real children and real pain. Let's hope that Sky and Danny find peace, stability and love, regardless of which adult ends up responsible for them. I'll see you in the next one.